Cool,
man.
listen, let's get into the next segment. This is a new segment, guys. Scout is something where Scout UK, is a platform where we like to bring and speak to the best young up and coming talents of all industries. We started off with football, and if you go into our YouTube account, you've seen the various interviews with young ballers, players that are pro, players that are playing academy. And listen, we've got two special guests. We'll start with the senior first. A guy that obviously we've known, as I said in the intro, for many years now, and seen him transition from this guy that was in music classes making beats with shout out to Mr. Bennett. He was there with his deep voice. And we've seen garage band, all that type of stuff there with the big headphones. But whilst he was still playing ball as well, to then him transitioning into the music game, into the music industry where streams are an all-time high, bro, and seeing the elevation from just making beats from your home to now going into number one, to hit records and stuff like that. So Mika gave you this one. Obviously, Mika, how has it been growing from Kingsford, going from being a young student there, learning your craft there, and then transitioning from every step to now where you are now?
Well, it's not been easy. It's been difficult because I don't know, man. It's like, because from like the transition from like secondary school to college, I was still playing college football, innit? So I was still playing football in college as well. But I had to obviously balance out like playing and like with music, it doesn't have any hours. Like it can go nocturnal, you can do it early in the morning, you can do it at all hours of the day. So it's like sometimes I'd be making music sometimes, and like the music will go on till like 2-3 a.m. in the morning. And then like I'm having to go college the next day. Man might have a game on the same day, bro. So I'm going into games with like 6 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep.
Wow.
But it just I had to manage, and somehow I made it work. So I think I got to a point where like it's now progressing into like university now. Then I had to give myself an ultimatum basically to say whether am I gonna carry on with uni and like continue to play football, or am I gonna try and like pursue this music thing. And just gladly I chose the music, and now we're here.
That's what I wanted to ask. How, like, I was gonna ask, like, what does it take? Like, where do you get to that point? It's like, it's either this is just a hobby, or I want to take this seriously and progress fully with it, and I be like, this is what I want to do.
I think it's like it's a feeling, isn't it? Like I wouldn't say it's the same for everyone, but it's like once I saw like I started making songs with like more credible artists, and like things started happening, and like people started messaging me saying, oh yeah, like for example, I used to upload music on SoundCloud a lot. I used to upload my beats on SoundCloud quite a bit.
I remember that.
So like,
What's up with T, bro?
Who's the instrument? Who's it in IB?
Use one of his beats, bro.
Listen, we were doing. Listen,
MIKA before.
Yeah.
You lot know about D1 Million?
Yeah, D1 Million.
Hey, that's a throwback, bro.
Listen,
That's a proper throwback.
When we was back in school, like, or even back in school, like college times, when he was making these songs, I was like, okay, you know what, like, these beats are actually kind of hard still.
D1 Million.
And I was thinking, you know what? Yeah, and then I remember when we went to Ibiza. Hey, let's not Ibiza. Great memories.
That one there, I went a couple times. I can't lie.
We can talk about that stuff there. But yeah, just having that and just knowing that, okay, bro, like, bro's actually really good at this. And then obviously that transition from, okay, you're making beats, you're now putting it out on SoundCloud. How did it then go to a place where it's like, okay, artists are now starting to come, you're now starting to make a bit of peas out of it as well, a little bit of change. So how did that transition go about?
I'll say more so it was like, because I was uploading like kind of frequently on these platforms, like it was more so at the start I was working for free. Or like if I was like charging people, like I'd charge them like a small like 20. I'll bear in mind I was 17, 18 at the time, so I'd be charging people like my small 50s, 80s, sometimes 20s if I really needed the bread. So after like getting to like that first initial stage of like getting revenue off of it, that's where like I started to look at it long term and start to say to myself, like, instead of like actually just working for the money, how can I get bigger? So then I started like actually like DMing people on Twitter, like emailing people, like get like looking on Twitter and getting people's emails, and like I've always believed in myself to have like the ability to stand out. Like
That's
my
one thing
beats
that's
as well.
true.
So,
No, that's one thing that's true.
Like,
100%.
bro, there used to be days where I would just look at people's emails. I would send beats to like every single email I saw, and like my thing is, it's kind of similar to football where I say like you can take 100 shots, but one of them at least will go in if you shoot. So that's how I just applied the same process with music. I just emailed everyone I could. Whoever responded, if it was someone that I wanted to work with, I just tick it off. I say, yeah, I've got this person. Then I just started building from there. Then that's literally just how I just started to build and just try and get my name out there.
Because I look back at it, because, you know, when we see you on your socials and stuff like that, it was very much like, I'm working towards it. I'm putting in the time and the energy towards it. So when you now see you in a position that you are now, it's like, you really did put in the grind into that. Cause,
yeah, I put my hours in.
Because we, you know, we obviously saw it live and direct.
Witnessed it for time, bro.
We witnessed it from time. So now to see you where you are now, you know, working with the likes of Heady One, hit records with Meeks, man. So it's like, how did you even form those relationships? Like with, let's say for example, Heady.
So with Heady, like that was literally just emailing, bro. Like it was in like 2017. Just from like, even like from like YouTube and stuff like that. Like I used to upload music on YouTube as well. So it's like some of the placements that I would get, like they would just come off of like, because artists back then, like for the producing scene back then was kind of weird. Like we did, because people like, it was more so the larger producers, they had direct access to like some of the bigger artists. So for like some of the younger producers coming up, like they had to just try and form any means to hustle to get their music out there. So they'd upload on YouTube, SoundCloud, and like the artists would rip the beats from YouTube. Then like they just inform you like, oh yo, I've used your beat. And like if you was money orientated, you'll be thinking like, what the hell? Like you've just used my beat without me asking. But if it was like a big artist that I actually wanted to work with, then I didn't really mind, because I knew that if they do well on this beat, something good is gonna come out of it, because it puts spotlight on obviously my beats as well. So that's literally how I just came about with working with some of these artists.
So how did you then go? So was it literally like, once you understood that this is something where you could take long term, you could take the bumps and bruises and be like, you know what, I could get more or less, they could take it, but at the same time I could benefit from that? Or was it something where it's like, you know what, I'd rather they do that than for me to just be all about the money?
Yeah, like for me, because like I deeply love music, innit? Like I listen to all genres of music. So for me, like I've never really been like money orientated when it came to music. Like I'd rather, like, don't get me wrong, if it's like no disrespect, just like some mediocre artist, then I'm gonna think, of course you have to pay me, because this is my art at the end of the day. But if it's like someone that I respect, I can see that they've got something going on for themselves, then by all means, like we can come to some sort of agreement. Or even if you want, like, I really respect you and you wanted to take the beat for free, then I don't mind, as long as I know it can do something for your career. Because that's like, it gives me satisfaction knowing that I've given someone something that's come out of my mind, then they've been able to create something off of it and they can feed their family off of it. That's where I get like my main joy for music from.
Yeah, that's real good, man. That's real good.
Bro, I can't remember the time I was listening to Thing. It was 98's tape. And I'm listening to a song. All I hear is, Mika gave you this. I said, there's no way. I was like, and the beat was, wow, what beat was it?
I know what scene you're talking about.
Yeah. I said, yo, the beat was cold, bro.
Yeah,
and the way I was spinning this, I said, yeah, bruv, like, sometimes just listen to music sometimes. I think there's one of the Heady ones. I was gonna call my boys. Like, I don't think I'd heard the song yet. I just heard the tagline, like, raw, like, I've witnessed this guy grow from time. Like, the thing is, that's not even say like his beats now are cold. His beats from back day were cold.
Real talk.
That's the like.
No, thank you, man. I
That
appreciate
natural
it.
progression type thing is like, yo, like, and with me personally, I like seeing it with my friends. I like seeing my friends succeed. I like for my friends seeing them grow in what they do. That's why certain things like,
They're cute, innit?
you know,
Thank you, man. Thank you.
See, listen, even with Jason here,
Hey,
no, but in terms of Scout itself, like I've allowed like you see, you call me Capitano Red Tete,
Oh,
but
here we go.
I've sat here and said, yo, Jason, you're better at hosting than I am. You take this over. You be the hostess. And funny thing is, there's times that Jason says something like, yo, like, get out of my head. Because I'm like, this idea,
chemistry's
this
mad,
idea, like, I thought this from time ago, but
Yeah.
you're saying it now. I'm like, bruv.
Hey, listen. Great minds think alike, eh?
Yeah, that's what
Great
you
minds
need
think
though.
alike.
Sometimes, man, you
Yeah.
need the chemistry to be working, man.
So let's talk about that. The chemistry between artists and
And producers.
and producers.
And to be fair, between artists and producers and producers, when they collab as well, like, what's the process of
That's a
collabing?
good
What's the process
question.
of collabing on a beat?
Yeah, with other producers, because you obviously had, you know, at the time, a long period of time, we used to see you around with other producers as well. So it was like, how did that go about doing it?
It's more so like it's at that time, because like the music industry for producers was not as like, I would say, what's the word I can use, like populated. Like, to get around in that time to collaborate with producers, you had to actually like network. So like you'd have to go studio to studio. I remember there used to be times where, and I gotta give a shout out to one of my brothers, MK.
Yeah,
He
MK
was
plug.
like one of the first people that like he brought me to like actual studios, or like to collaborate with people, or to sit down with other producers and like make beats with other producers. So then eventually I ended up becoming, because he formed a group called Brigade, innit? And at that point, like that's when like drill music was like at its peak. Like I feel personally, that's when drill music was at its peak. So there was about 25 of us.
Wow.
So like throughout the years, like we would just sit down, book studios. We'd like, there could be like, for example, all of us in a room, like 3 laptops. In one room, there's like 4 producers making one beat. In another room, there's 4 producers on another beat. So one man might make the melody, another man's making the drums underneath. They'll come off. Bro, it's like you're doing substitutions in real time and that. It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's just, that's the beauty of it at the same time, because you're seeing like how things are getting created in real time, but it's like multiple ideas forming into one like big idea. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. There's a lot of ways I collapse, even with like screen sharing and stuff like that, like Skype and things like that. Like, collabing over Skype, like there's just so many ways that we used to just get to it back in the day. It was crazy, man.
So when it comes to just the positives and not the negatives, but the pros and cons of being in the industry and working as a producer, what would you say to people that are looking to get into this situation? What they should avoid and what they should look to obtain?
I'll start with the negatives first. I'll say the main thing I can say personally that I faced is that you have to understand the balance between friendships and business. Because a lot of the times, like what I've realized is that you can be going to studio with people frequently and you can form relationships with people, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're your friend. Like you can get to like the business end of like music, for example, like sorting out contracts and so on. So, and you might agree on like a certain price, and because like an artist, for example, or another producer might see you as their friend, it might cause a rift sometimes. So you just have to just like get the balance between friendship and like business right. Another negative I'd say also is like you gotta watch out for people who are like, they're just quick to run for anything. Like, because I'll say like in this industry, if you're like hot, people will only use you for as long as you're hot. Like they'll squeeze you like a orange, innit? So you have to just be cautious of people like that. Like I would call them leeches, but it's however you want to take it. And say a third negative just have to watch for is read your contracts. That's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Because we see all the time
Every industry,
people
man,
get
it'll be
but
that, man.
it's cliche, but it's really really real. Like it's not only in like the music world as well. I was saying everything you do, like you just have to read over your paperwork and make sure that obviously everything that you're looking at is straight. If you've got the money to get a good lawyer, if you can read up, like also educate yourself as well, because if you educate yourself on like the words that they use in these contracts, then you'll be able to avoid like any screw ups or any mistakes that you make.
So what's
main
the
freeze?
what's the pros then? What's the
Pros?
Yeah.
The pros, I'd say, you get to be around. Obviously, like, boy, music is diverse, isn't it? So you see a lot of different people. Well, if you're into the ladies, you see some good specimen out there.
Mika, hey,
You see some decent specimen out there.
Hey,
But I'll say, like, overall, like, one main positive I'll say is, like, you get to, like, enjoy the journey of artistry, innit? It's, like, being in music has made me appreciate, like, all kinds of art. Like, it's made me appreciate, like, literature, paintings, like, even just, like, a nice car. You would want to think, like, oh, raw, like, how did someone think to design something that looks this nice? But that's one of the pros of it. Like, you get to appreciate things. I'd say just going to different, like, studios and stuff like that. Like, if you're proper, like, getting around and stuff like that, I'd say, like, you get to network with all different kinds of people. And I'll say, if you win, there's no margin for how big you can win. Like, you can win very, very big if you win in music. So I'll say, like, you should always, like, try and set your targets for, they say aim for the stars, but you should be aiming even higher than the stars. Whatever's higher than the stars,
just
try aim for that, innit? If not, you land on the stars, innit?
That's right.
So yeah, you should literally just aim big in music, because there's no cap to how big your thing can go.
So what's next for you? What's the one that's coming up for you? What's something where it's like, okay, you know what? This is something that I'm putting my time towards, or is it in close?
For me, I'll just say, like, right now, I wouldn't say I'm on a hiatus, but I'll say, like, I'm just taking time to just, because I'm still fairly young. I started at 14. Like, I'm now 23. I'm going to be 24 soon. It's just seeing, like, how I want to take these next 10 years in music and just see, like, what kind of legacy I want to leave in music. So just been, like, improving my sound, making sure my beats are up to scratch every day, and literally just networking with other people, trying to make plays happen. So it'll be interesting to see what new music comes out. I'm not going to spill the beans too much, but
I hear it, man. I hear
like that.
but yeah, man, we got some good stuff coming, man. Good stuff coming. I'm trying to save this industry, man.
Yeah. Hey, listen, if you know Mika, listen, he's all about trying to teach each and every one of us about this
each
industry.
one teach one, man.
Exactly that.
For sure.
Man, that's great. And listen, to go even to the junior, to the young star, you know, from, I remember seeing Jonas, how old was he? I remember we used to go cage. And
Back there.
all of a sudden, you know, Mika would bring his little brother, and you're thinking, hey, this one over here, he's like a few years younger than us. Like, bro. And then he'd come in and he'd leave an impact. Now to go from there to going to QPR, to then going to Sutton, to now being at Walsall, to see your transition from there to there, it's incredible. And you know, when Mika was putting out pictures of your announcement of the signing and stuff like that, it was very much like, wow, like you watched this guy play with us,
bro.
Now he's playing with the Pros. God. But let's just talk us through where the love of football came from. Was it really from the beginning, and where it came from, and how did it come? Is it something where it's like, cool, watching your older brother, watching football? What was the things where it's like, cool, I really love football?
Do you know what? I can't really even tell. I think from the get-go, it's literally been from the jump. Like, I can't tell you the day I started kicking the ball. Like, there's pictures of me headering the ball around the house, and I don't even know what I'm doing. So I think there's just always been a ball, like, next to me. Like, there's times at home where ask my brother, like, I'd have not just one football left in the hallway. There was like
Just
five
like
footballs.
5 balls.
I only need one.
It's like bare
Mum's shouting at me like, why are you dribbling around the house?
Yeah.
But I think I just love football. I can't tell you what it is, but it's just something with football that I've come to. I believe God's like brought me to this world to play football, and that's why I'm in the position I'm in right now. But football is just something I'll always love.
Was it something where you looked at it like, okay, I love football, I'm in school and all that type of stuff there. Was you ever thinking to yourself, maybe I'll go pro? Or was it always like, I just love football and then it just happened to work out?
I think it's always been, I just love football. At first, it was just always, I want to play football. That's all. Like those days where, I think even I was 14, 13, I was playing for Hornchurch. I had a little spell at Hornchurch. And in the back of my mind, it's like, even if I don't make it to the Prem, I'll be happy to just play in front of a few thousand people. Like those days where I was thinking, I don't mind playing for Hornchurch first team. Like, as long as I'm playing football at a decent level, I'll be satisfied. So it's, I think maybe later on when I was at like Orient 15, playing up with the 18s, and I'm seeing, rah, these men are like full-time footballers getting money from it.
Crazy.
You know what? It's like in touching distance, I can do it. So it's just one of them ones. Maybe as time went on, and I saw like what football could do for you, and I've got older cousins and older like friends that play football, and they were doing well for themselves. So it's just like seeing them. It's just like, all right, cool. I just gotta replicate what they do, and maybe one day it will happen.
Speaking of that, with friends and stuff, like I've seen you grow up with Gideon.
Yeah.
Like Gideon, I've seen you man around. Like I think Timmy as well.
Yeah.
Like I remember I came Power League once. And I saw you man, and like your entire friendship group is full of ballers.
Yeah, literally.
Like what? How does that like? How does that motivate you in any way? Like you see, like okay, cool. I'm balling, my friends, but like everyone is balling. Does that keep you going? Like all of us are here. Like at one point we could all be on the same pitch, even facing against each other. Like but we could all be at a certain point together, just playing against each other. Like.
To be fair, do you know what it is? Me and Gideon, I think we started playing football together maybe year 4, year 5. I'm not too sure. So
Bro, Gideon's playing for time.
me and Gideon were literally at after Royal Falcons. I was with Gideon maybe.
Falcons!
Hey, give me that's
Hey, yo!
It's a legendary.
Hey, listen.
Legendary.
Hey,
club.
East
real-
London,
he's a real
hey,
throwback,
give him. Listen, there was some great Sunday League teams,
Nah,
you know.
that's a
Some
real
great
TV,
Sunday
fam.
League teams.
I
Hey,
say the holy trinity of New football: Royal Falcons, Flanders, and Pro Star.
that Pro Star.
that's it.
Hey, yo.
That's the
Hey,
Trinity,
yo.
bro.
Even Senrab. I never went. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
Senrab.
that was
Yeah.
alright. Yeah.
Bro, I think Defoe played for Senrab, I think.
Yeah. A few ballers come out of Senrab.
Yeah.
But yeah, that holy trinity there,
Oh,
bro.
bruv.
Some ballers came. Listen, some great, undiscovered ballers were there, but you're one of those that have now been discovered and put out there into pro. So then when did you start getting into academies, and how did that transition go?
So I think let me tell you the story of how this even happened. Not like people know it, but not many people know. I was playing for a team called East Ham Rovers,
East Ham Rovers.
and we had a tournament. I'm not even sure
Classic
where this
teams,
tournament
innit?
was, but I had a friend called Joe. God knows what Joe's even doing today. But me and Joe have seen a boy or a man in a Norwich jacket, and we've just gone up to him. We've gone, "Excuse me, mate, could you come watch our game?" It's a little 7-a-side tournament, so the guys come and watch the game. We've seen him. I remember Joe scored 7 and I scored 12. Like under 11s and under 10 days. Like
slapping goals.
I've got 12 goals in that game. Then the scouts, obviously, back then it was cards, innit? The scouts giving the card to the coach. I think even before that though, I got scouted by Tottenham, innit? Remember Junior Hammers? And Mum said no.
I think so.
But obviously, Mum, I don't think she wanted that much pressure, and I don't think I was ready yet. But then, obviously, the Norwich Scouts giving the card to the coach, and then from there, I went to a trial in an area called Ware.
Where?
Honestly,
Where?
I remember it's like 2 hours away, raining, no one could drop me. But one of my uncles, basically, he sacrificed picking up his kids to come and drop me. And obviously,
Hey, shout out Uncle, bro.
Yeah,
For
trust
real.
me.
obviously that's a mad thing to do. So for me, it's like, alright, cool. I know he's done that, and it's raining, it's pissing down. Like these lot have both come out of the job to drop me. So I've got to do my thing. Gone to the trial, it's gone well, but they had a centre of excellence. So it's like a development squad, pretty much. That's what they used to have. So I've obviously gone there. I was there for maybe 6-7 months, and then at the end of each half term, you'd go up and verse the academy. And obviously, I'm at under 12. I've still got a chance to, get signed. It's never too late. So I just thought, you know what? Let me just give it my all and see what happens. Played against the academy, done well, got a trial. I remember first game was against Tottenham, innit?
Yeah, I was watching that game. Yeah.
Bro, first academy game, scored a hat trick. Scored a hat trick. So when that's happened, that's when I was like, all right, cool.
This is me.
Yeah, this is like, we're at the top of the academy pyramid as well. This is Cat 1 football. So if I can score a hat trick against Tottenham,
Who knows what else happened?
yeah, who else knows what can happen? So obviously I've got my brother around me as well. He's strict. He's on me.
Yeah, we know how to do
Make
this.
sure I'm eating correct from that young age.
Yeah.
So, to be fair, ever since then, it's just clubs after clubs after club. I've been at a few clubs as well, but when it really started to go well, I think it was after Southend. So I had a try at Southend, but they said no. And then I had a spell at West Ham. They said no. I remember Gideon got signed. We both went to West Ham at the same time.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so me and Gideon have played for, I think, pretty much every single team together, but we split off at West Ham. So he continued at West Ham, and obviously I was just going like club to club to club. I went to Southend. Southend said no. Maybe at Hornchurch for 4 or 5 months.
What's your mentality though when they're saying no?
I was just about to say that.
Just
Just
about
about
to
to say that.
I cried again when Norwich said they have to they released all their London boys.
Wow.
There was a new rule that the Premier League made basically, and they released everyone.
Bro, that rule was, when we were still playing, that rule was about, it's the 1 hour 30 rule, the catchment area.
I've heard about
when we was
that.
playing,
I've
yeah.
heard about
It's
that.
mad,
Yeah.
like bare, like mad ballers that
They
used
had
to
to
play.
get released, yeah.
They had to live like within an hour.
Oh yeah, that's why
30,
guys used to move over there and live in those
yeah.
live over with some
Host
people.
family,
Yeah.
If they really wanted you, they'll send you with a family. innit?
Someone's in the Premier League. I can't. KDB was it KDB? No.
They move with a family.
Yeah.
Even everyone does it. Even Declan Rice done it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that rule was mad. A lot of big ballers got ruled out because, like, to go certain teams because of that rule. Like, it was crazy.
I remember I cried, and this guy laughed at me. He told me, he laughed at me and told me, but like, don't worry, it happens. You're young. I've got time. Just work harder. And to be fair, I don't think, if I never had a brother, I don't think like my foot's on the gas, like fully on the gas. Like, but I feel like if I never had a brother or someone there to push me 24s, I might have like become a bit sloppy and sluggish. Like even, like I'm still young. Obviously, I'm only 17, but like maybe take it back to 2 years when I was at Orient. I was scoring goals at Orient, but he always just used to tell me, don't take your foot off the gas, don't take your foot off the gas, anything can happen. I think half a season at Orient, during COVID, this is coming up to scholarship decisions. I scored maybe like 12 goals in my own age group. I think maybe 5 with the under 18s. I'm thinking, one of the best. Got my scholar. Get
This guy
to the
got
meeting.
rude awakening. I'll tell you how the day went. The day was mad. Bro, I'll tell you how the day went. It was crazy.
I was confident. All the man, we even made a group chat before everyone got their scholars of the new group chat. I was even in there. So I remember my scholar meeting was maybe at 5:30.
Hey, wait, let me interject. This is what I'm going Bro, I'll be real with you. This day was mad. Because, I'll say it was mad in the sense, like, I always knew he was good, innit? I knew he was a baller because I actually seen him play. I knew, this guy is better than me, fam. He's better than me. So, obviously, now it's coming up to scholar time. It comes to the day now. You see me, I'm an optimist. I never think bad of things. I always think to the best. But in the back of my mind, something was telling me, I don't know, man. So it's time to go to the meeting now. We've gone in a cab now. If I'm lying, I'm flying. If I'm lying, I'm flying. The cab drivers picked us up. Capital Extras playing. Guess what song played? Because you had a bad day. Mother's life. God strike me down. That song was playing. That was the sign I got from the heavens that told me this boy doesn't have a scholar. I knew.
Hey, that is brazy.
So we've gone to the meeting now. I've gone there with my sister, obviously.
Even my best friend was there.
Yeah, my brother's best friend was there. So we were I'm speaking to a bunch of like, bro, at this point they look like they're executives to me. So now they're speaking, they're saying, oh yeah, this is how Jonas has been performing this season. Based on his performances, we don't think we'll be offering him a scholar. I said, what? I said, no way, I can't be right like this.
After all the stats he was there talking
about. Bro. Wow. I'm seeing videos of him like doing lobs against keepers and that from like outside the box and that. I'm thinking, nah, this surely something's wrong. But then like I just had to soak it up at that point, and I told him like, look, some clubs they're gonna make decisions, you might not agree with it, but you can't let it affect you, innit? You just have to keep your head down. You have to keep going. But I just hoped that we got a different cab driver and different music. Nah, that one, it showed me, wow. Like, the universe sometimes will speak to you and let you know like how things will go sometimes, for real.
That is a breed. Like, man said you come in the cab, you had a bad day.
Nah, I'm good, bro. If I'm lying, I'm flying.
That's a banger, though.
Yeah, that's a banger as well.
Big tune, though.
Big tune.
Oh, man.
Big tune.
So then when did it start to click? When did it go from, all right, cool, I've gone through this heartbreak, I've gone through just feeling low about myself.
Do you know what?
When did it go? Yeah, I'm good.
You never let me get low. There was no time to like get down.
I couldn't.
There was no time. Not that, bro. 5 minutes, I had tears in my eyes. Bro, after I got outside, I was laughing. I laughed outside the stadium and said, bro, you can only laugh. You can never take it too serious, bro.
The way life goes, you have to laugh.
Yeah, sometimes.
That's true, because you'll be crying for days.
You're crying, bro.
There was other people. I'm not gonna say names and obvious, but there was other people at the club, but it ate them up. And like today, some of them ain't even playing football. The ones that never got offered a scholar, and there's some of them obviously that are still in their second year of their scholar right now. But out of the people that did get their scholars and didn't get their scholars, not being funny or like trying to be like cocky or whatever, but I'm doing the best out of all of them that were there, innit? So it's just one of them ones. You can never let it eat you up, and I've already had no's in the past, so it's just like I know my ability, and I know if you work hard.
So is that mindset of just being like, you know what, I can never get myself too down. That was with obviously your brother helping you out, but you also just having that toughness to be like, okay, you know what, forget it.
Yeah, I think I have to give credit to my brother, because the love that he showed me, it's like, sometimes I used to think, this guy is cold. Like,
no, listen, it's the truth though. It's the truth, because even back in the days we was in school, you think, bro, why is bro acting like this? Like, why is he?
Man, you gotta be hard.
Yeah.
There's always a method to the madness.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
It's controlled, isn't it?
Exactly.
You have to be harsh, innit? Because with me, like I didn't like really have my dad around like that, so I had to just
be the man in the house.
Yeah, I had to, for my sake, I had to, like, I can't let things get to me, because if I do, then obviously, like, bro, you know how men are sometimes,
exactly,
bro. When men fold, they fold bad.
We fold a hell of a.
So I can't fold, innit? And because I've got, like, I'm responsible for him as well. Like, I have to show him that even though, like, there's gonna be days or times that will get hard, you still have to have like the mental strength as well as like the heart strength or the physical strength to know that, like, shit's not going my way right now, but I'll work my way through this. And as long as like you can always see that there's light at the end of the tunnel, that's what will keep you going. So I've always tried to instill that in him, just to make sure that even if things are not going your way right now, just continue working hard and make sure that like when your opportunity does come, you're ready for the opportunity.
It's the truth. I had like a teacher called George Lavender in the school, and when me and Gideon first come to the school, Kingsford obviously,
shout out Kingsford.
He's come to us. He's
best school in you, man.
Hey, tell you, don't hate, bro. Don't hate, though.
Best school that ends, man.
He got our year group, the whole football team into a room one day. I think we done a madness at West Ham Kicks at a tournament.
Shout out West Ham Kicks.
Shout out West Ham Kicks.
Hey, listen. I met Mark Noble there, bro. Like that thing there.
Legendary,
the Astro there. Jesus Christ. Oh Lord, that was good. But back to your point.
Yeah, what's that? I think we were messing around with some NFL player called Marshawn Lynch.
No way.
Swear down.
No way.
And you know these Americans, they're like raw. So he's
Yeah.
swearing at us and we're swearing back at him and throwing water.
Wait, what? You did what to Marshawn Lynch?
So we had a discipline meeting, but after the meeting, teachers kept me, Gideon, and one other. I'm not gonna say his name, obviously. He's kept me, Gideon, and one other. He's gone to the one other. You see, you're too cocky just because you're at this club. Like I'm telling you, if you keep going this way, you're gonna get released. And as of used to, you and me and Gideon, it's like if you used to keep working hard. Remember, I said it. Give it 5 years time. You lot would be the ones like in full-time football. I swear to God, everything the man said has happened. And George Lavender, I think after I never got my scholar, I went to a few clubs with my old agent. He helped me out, but obviously nothing came out. So George Lavender just one day randomly called me. There was a girl called Kumi, my sister's friend. George Lavender's asked her, have you heard of, like, from Jonas? What's going on with Jonas? And he's like, I'm not too sure, but call him, innit? He might need help with something. I don't know if this has to be God, innit? He's randomly just got my number one day. He called me. I'm in Rotherham, like on trial at Rotherham, but they're about to say, we don't know if we can offer you a scholar. So he's called me and said, look, my old agent, he can help you out. So I've obviously gone and met the agent when I've come back to London, and he's literally gone to me and told me, look, you see I can make stars. He previously had like Yannick Balassi, and he said to my brother, look, your brother's is gonna be a star. So I was just thinking, in my head, I'm just thinking,
He's just talking
man,
another
guy.
Another guy
agents,
talking.
man, you just talk. So I sat down and he's gone, look, you're gonna be a professional footballer in a few weeks or months. I went to QPR. He said, look, QPR and Ipswich both want you, but we'll see which one like you'll go to first, and obviously what's best for you. So I ended up going to QPR, went on trial, scored 3 goals in 2 games, 2 assists. So I'm thinking, yeah, calm, I'm gonna get my scholar. Never happened.
This was the reality check.
Never
This
happened.
is what I was
So
telling
I'm
him.
thinking, bro, I was at Orient. Do you know every club I went on trial for, God knows, I scored at every single club. Whether I had 1 game or not, at Rotherham I scored with my penis, bro. I was the only one that scored.
Wow.
On the line. I scored with my team, fam. So it's like, all of that has happened.
Yeah, you still haven't
got anything. So I'm just thinking, nah, there's no way. So now, obviously, this is pre-season, first year scholar. So I'm thinking, yo, everyone's got their scholars. Everyone's doing this, that. What am I meant to do? So thank God the agent's good enough. It was just like, look, I know you want to be playing at a higher level, but we're just going to have to put you somewhere where we know you're guaranteed. So I went to Scholar. I went to Sutton United.
Yeah.
But I was meant to obviously do 2 years, but I wasn't like an actual proper scholar. That's what no one knows, that I wasn't an actual proper scholar. So I signed something like a schoolboy, but I was still getting paid expenses, obviously, for coming in and that, while still studying as well, obviously. But I stayed at Sutton. I remember, like, even FA Youth Cup, like, I thought I was
This guy.
my brother explained the Youth Cup story, man.
We've gone to the Youth Cup game, yeah. So based on the stories he's giving me, I'm thinking, yeah, this guy's doing his thing. He's doing well. I've gone to the Youth Cup game, yeah. And you know how, like, secondary school games would be back in the day? There's bare things just watching. So he was kind of like a club celebrity. People knew him. So they're thinking, alright, cool, yeah, we're waiting to see how Jonas is going to play. We're waiting to see. So I'm thinking, what's this commotion? Everyone's come to see this small boy and that. Like, I'm thinking, what's going on? So now, the game started. He's not starting. So I'm thinking, huh? What's going on? Cool. Gets to like the second half. Bro, it was cold that day as well, I remember. Gets to the second half. He's still not on. Gets to like the 60th minute. He's still not on.
Bro, one of my boys dislocated his leg in the match. I promise you, popped his leg back in.
I'm by the byline. Like I'm at like basically like a barrier behind the byline. So obviously I'm seeing him warm up and stuff like that. So I'm seeing him doing his little stretches and stuff like that. I'm saying to him, like, go near the gaffer, bro. Like, if you go near the gaffer, maybe he might see, like, like something's gonna go on.
Yeah.
Bro, I saw this guy bro, the soak that he pulled, yeah, he's like when a dog is soaking, like he's sad. Like, I'm thinking, nah, like, brother, you need to just fix up, man. Don't soak and that. But obviously, cause like bearing in mind it was his first youth cup and he was young as well. I can understand he wanted to play in it, so like, I wasn't too hard on him for it. But I just told him like, look, there's gonna be times where like managers might feel like they need to play a certain group of players because they think it's gonna be this or they think it's gonna be that, but at the end of the day, you just gotta keep going. But yeah, literally, just the soaking is what got to me, fam. I was thinking, where's this guy soaking like?
You know what
it's
I
not the
think?
end.
I come on for like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
You know what
my
I think,
style.
yeah? I feel like all the setbacks you've had, yeah,
Yeah,
it was to
still-
set you up
Yeah,
for when
yeah,
you become
yeah.
big.
Mhm.
Because
yeah.
you know now, you know you're gonna take more L's in the football thing. It happens,
Yeah.
but you're gonna know how to deal with it because you've been doing it from young.
8-18.
That's
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, man.
That's it.
It's good, man.
Yeah,
That's it.
nah, I even come on for 5 minutes. But you know, after Youth Cup, everyone's throwing bottles, throwing water, even the gaffers getting involved.
Did you lot win?
Yeah, we won.
Okay,
We
okay.
beat, I think it was Gillingham, innit? We beat them
Yeah,
3-2,
yeah.
dying minutes, bro. They were beating us. Spun the game. So now...
Was
in
it a
the-
game changer, yeah?
Yeah.
Super
pretty much.
mad.
I'm joking. Now, I've come on my style of players. Even if I'm coming on for 5 minutes, I want to rip someone. I want to
Yeah,
get
do
someone,
something.
get a goal or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
They're telling me just
Keep it safe.
Keep it easy.
Sit back. There was even, I've got the ball on a counter attack. I'm running by myself. I'm looking back. There's no one there. I'm thinking, man, I'm on a counter attack. Let's go score.
Yeah.
I'm running. I'm hearing running into the corner, bro. I left the ball. I let it roll. I let the ball go to the beginning. Like, what's the point of this? But I've gone into the change rooms. Everyone's happy, throwing their water. You get pizza after the games, and I ain't even touched the slice. I love pizza. I ain't even touched the slice. I've walked out. I've gone straight to the car. So obviously the club were angry with it. They were just like, nah, you can't be doing da. My brother spoke to me and that, but to me, it's like I let the emotions get the best of me in it because it's FA Youth Cup. Like that's all I've been hearing about from a young age, and I'm watching videos of like older players that I know that are playing pro right now. They were all playing in the Youth Cup and that. So I'm thinking, yeah, I've got to make an impact in this whilst I've got it because you can get knocked out at any point. So it's just one of them ones. Without my brother.
Yeah, I like this whole, brotherly love thing, man. Just how you guys, you needed each other in order for you to.
set in
Yeah,
two
in
different
both ways, man.
two different industries.
So then, how did it go for you to go to Walsall?
So obviously at the end of the season, unfortunately, I wasn't happy at Sutton, to be fair. I don't think like I would have progressed there. So it was just one of them ones. Spoke to the agent. It was just like, look, stay fit pre-season. Shout out to Diego, SNC coach, and Kai, one-to-one coach. I was just doing sessions with them, and obviously they're building me up like to obviously go on to play first team because they know how important second year as a scholar is. So I thought maybe I'm gonna go to a higher club, like in a higher league, as a second year scholar. I never actually knew that I was gonna go play men's football, but obviously I still wanted to prepare for it. So I just thought, you know what? Let me do what I can do in the off season, and we'll see what happens. And it's coming towards the end of like June. July.
No, it was end of July. I think.
Yeah, end of July.
Yeah.
I was initially meant to go up for 5 days just to Walsall, but I thought it was under 18s. And then I'm finding out it's first team, so I'm thinking, you know what? I'm actually ready because what I was doing in the off season, I proper went at it. So
That's it.
and obviously Calvin Bassey's from the area as well, innit? So I had a session with him in the off season, and it's just like if I'm playing with these lot from the ends, and they're like, I think they went Europa League finals.
Rangers. Yeah.
They went Europa League.
Is
finals.
that Ajax now?
Yeah.
To me, it was just like, I just played with him at Power League in ends. Let me just, let me just go do my thing. So,
You what a city.
You gotta love.
man.
Trust me,
borough.
serious borough, bro.
Yeah.
Serious talent has been
Listen,
created
bro,
from that borough, man.
So much.
Setting in the water.
So then, like coming up to it now. So just thinking about it, cool. Now, age 17, I got a pro contract with Walsall. Like, how do you then keep yourself grounded and put yourself in a position where it's like, cool, I need to still work hard.
You know what it is? The gaffer and obviously the senior members of the first team, they've always just like told me, look, bro, you've got your pro contract, but that don't mean nothing. It's just like, to me, in the back of my head, it's just like a status, innit? It's literally just, you've got a pro contract, but even if you have a pro contract, like you're not guaranteed minutes, or you're not guaranteed a good career. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's just one of them ones. I think some people might get carried away with just knowing they're a professional footballer, and then they do them mad thing like money, girls, and you know they lose track. But I just think because I have people around me, like my cousin Levi, obviously.
Shout out Levi. Hey, listen, we're gonna have you here soon, still. We're gonna start see. Hey, once you come back from where you're at, yeah, bro, we're gonna come here.
Newham is a talented
No
city,
way,
bro.
man. Listen,
Top done, man.
hey, and Levi knows, isn't it? Like, if I was taking football seriously, man would have been at Chelsea as well, bro.
I can't lie. You know
what I
what
mean?
Jason's pissing me off, bro.
Hey.
Jason was a top striker.
Hey, yo.
He's pissing me off, bro. He's pissing me off.
Hey, yo, listen.
I was a bags man.
Listen. Levi knows, isn't it? Obviously, he was the one that he said to me that I was Addy by yo, innit? So listen, he knows. I'll shout you, bro. Love for that. But,
You're pissing me off.
yeah, but how did help with the help of Levi and everyone else around you? That's how you've got to the position where you are now.
Did you look up to Levi, being like, yeah, like my cousin's banging ball, like
What's
why?
mad, yeah, not even Levi knows this himself. Do you know Levi got a Merc?
Yeah.
That's a matte black.
We know.
But you know that's my cousin. I can't remember where I even met him from. It's just been a normal like relationship. But Levi don't know it. When I used to sit in his car, you know, I was just sitting there smiling. I promise you, every single time. It's just like, nah, Levi, this is my cousin. He plays for Crystal Palace.
Bro.
To me, I'm not even thinking this is my cousin. I'm with a footballer right now.
You know what's crazy? I remember when he came on against Burnley, yeah, with under Frank de Boer.
Frank de
Bro,
Boer.
I was watching that match.
I watched that match, yeah, and I just said, bro, I played with this brother Cage.
Fam, it was like that.
I was there with him, like we was there banging ball
Bro,
with each other.
even just like the school games.
Yeah,
and
like
that,
we
bro,
see
like
whenever you come
Flanders
around
and that,
here,
yeah.
come to the opposite ends and be like, you know,
And the thing about us, was that every time we bang ball together, it's all love.
all love.
Yeah,
It's
always.
all and that's one thing I recognize with you, and obviously with Mika being your brother as well, that you've always been. It's never been like I'm above people.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know that you're a talented footballer and God has given you this talent, but you've also maintained a level of humbleness and been like, you know what, as much as I am in this position, I also have to
Yeah,
understand
because
that it can take it away.
you know what it is like the way I've also schooled him as well is like you have to remember that when you get given things, like you get given blessings, like you have to remember that it can get taken away from you just as quickly as it got given to you.
Just as
So
quick.
you have to be humble with what you get given, and also like you have to also remember that despite the position you're in, that doesn't mean you treat anybody any different.
That's
It doesn't mean you
That's right.
discriminate anybody. You don't act to people in a certain way. Like I always tell him as well, like just even like in the most harshest form, I always tell him. Sometimes he might joke around with me, but I'll tell him like, look, just because you've got a pro contract, don't think you're big time in it. Like you've not made it yet. Like you've made it when you've got a Champions League and our mum's retired and she don't have to work no more. That's when you can say in my mind, oh yeah, I've done what I've can. But as it stands right now, even for me, like I don't feel like I've done what I've set out to do. Like, I've still got a lot more to do. So it's just about keeping your head on your shoulders at all time and just remaining grounded and just like being humble every day and just appreciating your blessings all the time as well.
Well, man, listen, I pray for both of you guys to go into new dimensions.
Amen, man. I appreciate it.
To new dimensions. I want to see Jonas going and playing in the Prem and me even snapping him there and be like, bro, I played with him as well. Like, you know what I mean? I schooled the little youths as well, innit? And now seeing you, obviously, listen, going into different ways and winning awards and getting the recognition that, you know, for what God has blessed you with, and may He continue to bless you and continue to hold you to the highest standards, man. And
for sure for you guys as well, man, because this is a new kind, like for what you guys are doing, like this is a new space. Like I've not seen anyone in our borough think of an idea like this. So and from where we come from as well, bro, look how much footballers are within touching distance of us. So
No, it's brazy, bro.
it's crazy, bro. Like we've got so many footballers that are within. Not even just footballers to say it, just people who are just
people in
talented
general.
and they'll be here.
Yeah.
They'll be here
I
as
feel
well. We'll be speaking to them as well.
I feel like for me as well, I know I'm young, but I feel like me, even just making my first team debut against Aston Villa in front of like a sold out Bescott Stadium.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I was watching some of these players on Match of the Day maybe 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's
And
mad.
now you're,
Whilst
and
I'm
now you're in the
Sutton
flesh
and
and
that's
playing
mad
with them,
still.
bro.
Bro, I'm live over there. Like when Dia's there was one moment where I've even clocked my brother in the stands. I was running. I'm thinking, rah.
Yeah.
This feels like
Oh,
it's-
that's so
it
sick,
feels like
man.
it's
Bro.
like I'm playing FIFA.
I
You know
saw-
Alex
what's his
Hunter.
name?
Yeah.
Like, when you're playing in first person,
Yeah, yeah,
it felt like I was like, right, this is like, but this is just a League Two club. So imagine doing it at like Old Trafford. Like I went to Old Trafford the other day, and against Tottenham, innit, the Man U Tottenham game. Bruno Fernandes scores. I looked at one stand. That's just sort of flood of people like celebrating the goal. I was just like, I know I'm here right now, but one day, God willing,
Yeah,
like,
That's
I
the
have
aim.
to get to that level because
It should happen.
bro, that was insane. Like I know I've been at big games like Euros finals and whatever, but I don't know. There's something about Old Trafford when I saw that goal go in and I saw the way everyone reacted.
Yeah, so somebody, yeah. Listen, we ain't doing number one, yeah.
Because he's already
Yeah,
he's
he's
already
already- Listen, we.
No, quickly on OT though. OT gets jumpy, but I've been there for an under 18s game and it got like FA Youth Cup final. It got
Yeah, it's
jumpy.
mad, the
Like,
atmosphere's
that's
mad.
that's it. That
Nah, come Anfield.
You know what? I'm an Arsenal fan, but I'm not gonna lie. I want to go to Anfield. You know,
come
on,
It
bro.
looks mad there, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah,
Mad.
listen, this one here, I pray wholeheartedly that this just goes from strength to strength and you guys just continue to just get into new dimensions,
No,
new
thank you,
dimensions
man.
to places
Appreciate
where it's beyond our wildest dreams. And yeah, man, let it be great. Let it be great.
And it will be great.
It will be
will be
great,
great,
bro.
bro.
It will be great. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to this new segment of the Scout UK podcast. It's something that we are trying to introduce here. And listen, watch this space. We we're going to bring in some more great talented guests like the ones that we have here today. And we will we'll catch you, man, next week. Hope you, man, are blessed. Have a great week. Have a great time for listening. Thank you for listening, and all the best. And yeah, shout out to Kuhn, shout out to Taddy, shout out to B, Mika, Jonas. And you're more than welcome to come here. And when you, man, go into these different dimensions, we'll bring you here. Maybe be in a different. Maybe this might be a startup, and we go into elevation as well.
Amen, bro.
Go provide. So yeah, listen. Shout out you, man, and most importantly, put your C's up.
You're gonna do that after the week you've had.
This is a whole different
Put your C's up, people.
a whole different segment.
Hey, listen.
Man's
Over
going
and out.
grip on us.
Hey, yo, listen. Thank you very much, and God bless.